a beautiful night in downtown Minneapolis. Fans are starting to file in the final 3 games of this homestand before the Twins head back on the road to face Cleveland on Monday. And this White Sox-Twins series is presented by Evinrude. The Twins got the win last night, but it was overshadowed by the big news of the evening as you see Eduardo Nunez with the patented helmet flying off his 27th stolen base, which at the time led the American League, but it'll be his final stolen base this year with the Minnesota Twins. He is off to San Francisco. The Twins make the move right at the very end of that baseball game. They will move on and have a 6'3" pitcher in their system starting in AAA. Welcome inside the ballpark. A nice crowd gathering here for this Central Division collision. The Twins last night once again flashed the leather, and the defense all season long has been out there at second base with Brian Dozier. He is one of the most athletic second basemen in the game, and he again showed that tremendous range well to his right. Great timing on these throws. He seems to do it game in and game out. Brian Dozier, absolutely one of the best in the business. I talked to his manager, Paul Molitor, about some of these plays, and he said, boy, the game has really changed now. Having the setup to know where these hitters have the tendency to hit the ball. He said Dozier has now got comfortable when he has a little help up the middle to go out near into right field and make these plays. He said it's a trust thing. He has the arm to do it. He believes in his arm, and we love his range. He's so athletic. We have to use his skills to take away the right side of the infield, and Brian Dozier, who's heating up at the plate, is doing a great job out in the field. Tonight, it's a matchup of some Central power, as Dick and Bert will take you through the matchup that pitches a big-time hitter in Todd Frazier with the veteran numbers, 29 home runs this season, and an up-and-comer in Max Kepler, who has the edge. Dick and Bert, first pitch right around the corner, right here on Fox Sports North.
On Fox Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Chrysler. Enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance event. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. It is a perfect night for baseball at Target Field as the Twins and White Sox begin their 4th series of the year. Twins nemesis Jose Quintana will start for the White Sox. Ricky Nolasco's taken his lumps against the White Sox this year. He'll be making the start for the Twins. And we welcome you to Target Field on this beautiful Friday night. Dick and Bert with you for the opener of a 3-game series. As the season got into the middle months, both teams were looking for some left-handed pop, and they kind of hoped that they found it, but in opposite directions.
Yeah, the Twins went down to the minor leagues, got Max Kepler, and what a job he has done, especially in the month here of July. 8 home runs in 22 ball games, and he's driven in 23 runs, hitting .241. It seems like this young man is getting better and better. He's having some great at-bats. He's getting some big, timely hits for the Twins.
Kepler's swing reminds some of a young Justin Morneau, and he's the guy the White Sox got. It'll take a little getting used to see him in a White Sox uniform.
Justin had surgery on that left arm. He was activated in early June, and you know, in a Twins uniform you can see the 220 home runs, 21 home runs. The MVP back in 2006 for the Twins, 4-time All-Star. He should get a nice ovation here today. For the Chicago White Sox, he has 1 home run. But there's going to be more coming out of this guy. He's a class act, and now he's wearing a Chicago uniform.
Twins will close out the month of July against their nemesis in the American League Central, the Chicago White Sox. It's almost always a fun baseball series. We expect we'll have more of the same starting tonight. AL Central has seen its share of shuffling over the past several months. The White Sox were the early front runners, but now they've tumbled down the standing. The Twins have put up a respectable run and have the opportunity to affect who wins the division. Tonight, 2 teams who are used to battling it out at the top renew their rivalry with a familiar face in the enemy dugout. It's the Twins and White Sox next on Fox Sports North. And Ricky Nolasco, who's been pounded twice by the White Sox this year. The Twins have had a terrible time against Chicago this year, winning just once against 8 losses. But the White Sox got out to that good start, winning 17 games in April. And since the end of April, these 2 teams have about the same record.
Yeah, Chicago comes in at 50 and 52, 2 games under 500, and they find themselves 8.5 games in 3rd place behind the Cleveland Indians.
And the White Sox kind of caught in between right now. Robin Ventura's had plenty of turmoil over the last few days with the whole Chris Sale situation. They split their 4-game home-and-home series with the Cubs. And they do find themselves below 500. And it's interesting that here they are, one of the best pitching teams in the American League. They're the only team in the top 7 in team ERA in the league that has a losing record.
Yeah, Robin Ventura in his 5th season as manager of the Chicago White Sox.
And it is a gorgeous night here. Not a cloud in the sky. Very low humidity. And mid-70s temperatures. Northland Ford in defense for the Twins, minus Eduardo Nunez, of course, who was traded last night to the Giants. It's Rosario, Buxton, Kepler across the outfield. With Nunez gone, Eduardo Escobar figures to get most of the short-stopping duty. Sano in third, Dozier, Vargas on the right side of the infield. Joe Mauer gets the night off, and Kurt Suzuki behind the plate.
Yeah, some young guys will be playing defense behind Ricky Nolasco, and then Ricky Nolasco making his 21st start, his 3rd against the White Sox. Yeah, he was touched up a couple times, one in May, one in June. A total of 10 2/3 innings to the White Sox, 0-2 with an ERA of 10.13. So he's looking here to redeem himself. 18 hits in 10 2/3 innings. They allowed 4 home runs.
A little bit of a delay here because the White Sox have had a late lineup change, and so Gary Cederstrom got the word from Robin Ventura. He went over to tell Paul Molitor, and this was after the lineup card lineups were exchanged. So we will fill in the blanks for you.
Yeah, Cederstrom, the crew chief here in his 23rd year as a major league umpire. And Ricky Nolasco, important for him to establish that fastball, then mix in his curveball. Eaton, a guy that most of his hits go the other way, and there he hits one the other way.
A deep fly to right, and another leadoff home run.
My.
For the 5th time in the last 9 games, an opposing batters hit a leadoff home run.
Well, it's the 11th time this year that the Twins staff has allowed a 1st inning leadoff home run. And you mentioned it has been very, in yesterday's ballgame, Adam Jones on the first pitch took Kyle Gibson over the fence, and that fastball right down Broadway, and Eaton hitting his 8th home run of the year gives the White Sox an early 1-0 lead.
Ian Kinsler, Mookie Betts twice. It's been a chronic problem. And now Tim Anderson. And that's flipped foul. 2 strikes.
As a pitcher, former pitcher, you want to establish your fastball, but again, the location of that fastball. We saw Kyle Gibson last night right down the middle, as we did. So Nolasco would have came on the 2nd pitch, I believe.
That's the thing. Those 5 leadoff home runs in the last 9 games have come on the first 7 pitches of those games.
Right.
1-2 to Tim Anderson. And he strikes out.
Good breaking ball right there. Again, Nolasco, we saw him go to fastball, better location. Then the hitters will chase that breaking ball.
Here is the Menards batting order, and it's been changed with Todd Frazier scratched very late in the ballgame. Anderson, Cabrera are very late before the ballgame. Abreu, Morneau, Navarro moving up to 6. Schuck, Saladino, and Sanchez. Now, because the lineup was changed after the lineups were out, Frazier is not only he's not only not in the starting lineup, he's not available to come off the bench, which might be a moot point depending on what the issue is. Maybe he's been traded. That is a distinct possibility. 2 strikes now to Melky Cabrera.
Well, Frazier with 29 home runs, leading the White Sox in that department.
Fly ball right field. Kepler fighting the sun a little bit out there, making the play. 2 down. And that'll bring up Jose Abreu.
For Nolasco, this is his 8th career start against the White Sox. Just 1 win. It came here a couple years ago. 4 losses, an ERA just under 7. So it's not only the 2 starts this year that has given Nolasco problems against the White Sox. It's been the other 7 too.
Just missing the outside corner, ball 1. even with Eaton's home run, the Twins are out homering and outscoring the White Sox handily. And one of the problems is the guy in the box. Abreu's gone a career high 28 games without a home run. Takes inside 2-1. Has just 11 on the year. His last home run coming on June 23rd at Fenway Park.
That's kind of gone down. A couple years ago in his first season he hit 36, last year 30, now just 11.
Just got word the reason that Frazier was scratched, we've been told, is flu-like symptoms. So apparently a physical issue, not a transaction. 3-1. Popped up foul and in the seats.
Well, that's what happens this time of the year, or late August, or excuse me, late July. There's so much trade talk, and all of a sudden somebody comes out of a ball game right away. You think, oh,
right,
they've traded him.
Twins didn't go that route last night with Eduardo Nunez, a deal that was put together after first pitch and before the final pitch, but Nunez played the whole game. Chopped left side, Sano throws on the run in time. Abreu retired. Eaton on the second pitch of the game gives the other guys another very early lead. Excuse me, quick lead for the White Sox on another leadoff home run. And Paul Molitor, kind of gallows humor about it. He talked about all the leadoff home runs this year, and he says we've got to set a record. And sure enough, tonight another one. 14-14 against the White Sox. That would tell you that the Twins had their way with Chicago last year, but the White Sox have won 8 of 9 so far this year. Menard's batting order: Brian Dozier leading off, Robbie Grossman, the designated hitter, Miguel Sano, Kenny Vargas, Max Kepler, Eduardo Escobar, Eddie Rosario, Kurt Suzuki, and Byron Buxton.
And so Jose Quintana on the mound here this afternoon, 27 years old, making his 21st start, just like Nolasco. And his 4th against the Twins, 2-1 against the Twins this year. He got shut out with Kyle Gibson in his last start. And that's the only loss to the Twins. He has been pitching outstanding. Over his last 4 starts, 3-0, 2.10 ERA.
When he got shut out, the final score was 4-0, and Brian Dozier drove in all 4 runs with a solo home run and a 3-run home run. He has 4 home runs against Quintana. Driven to right field, and Eaton retreats, still going back, and he'll play the bounce and play it well, but Dozier goes into second with an opening double. And that has to be a sight for sore eyes for Tom Bernansky to see Dozier more and more now hitting the ball hard to the opposite field.
Yeah, there's a lot of work by Tom Bernansky, Rudy Hernandez about this right here. Pitches away, don't try to pull it, just go with it. Exactly what Brian did right there.
The Twins right away get the tying run in scoring position, and that'll bring up Robbie Grossman. Grossman more and more slotted as a designated hitter. Not seeing as much time in the outfield. The Twins want to run Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler out there as frequently as they can. And I asked Robbie today, I said, did you ever DH in your days with Houston? He says, I've never DH'd any time before coming here. So it's a new experience for him. Last night, as a designated hitter, 2 hits and 2 walks. So the results have been pretty encouraging. Some players have a tough time adapting. And now pitch taken low, 2-0.
Well, Robbie knows what his job is right here. Hopefully get Dozier over to third. He's hitting .362 as a right-handed hitter. 3 home runs as a right-handed hitter, 3 as a left-handed hitter.
Grounded left side, nice pickup. And he didn't, he dropped it. Saladino is over at third base, not Frazier. Saladino picked it up, was ready to throw it, and then dropped it.
He slid to his left, and the ball kind of came up on him, and he just couldn't get the ball out of his glove. Watch this right here. Nice play getting to it. Pops up, and in the exchange, drops the ball. So an error for Saladino.
Northland Ford defense for the White Sox. Cabrera in left, Shuck in center, Eaton in right. Saladino was at second. Now he's at third. Anderson at short. Sanchez inserted into the lineup with Todd Frazier out. Abreu at first. Navarro behind the plate. Here's Miguel Sano back in the lineup after a couple of frustrating games early in this homestand. And a 91-mile-per-hour fastball and a big swing and a miss. In the first game in the Atlanta series, Sano struck out 3 times, all 3 times looking. In the second game against the Braves, he struck out 3 times. All 3 strikeouts were swinging strikeouts. And another swing and a miss.
Well, we show you some of those from Sano right here. Of course, you know, he's got the power. You know, he's got to be able to swing the bat a little bit more, taking maybe too many pitches, the half swings we've seen. And then when he did strike out, boom, there goes the bat. That's the frustration that players get into.
0-2. And a pop-up foul and out of play.
Quintana going right after him with fastballs. And again, Sano, you know, still a youngster. He's going to strike out a lot if he stays here at the big leagues for a long time. But the Twins are hoping, they want to see the power. They want to see the good contact. When he does, the ball does fly a long way.
So far, he's 0 for 7 with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks against Quintana. Big chance for the big man here in the first inning. Blocked by Navarro, 1-2.
Stayed off the breaking ball. Quintana in his 5th season with the White Sox. They made the All-Star team this year. His first. I think we talked a little bit about it. He's kind of overshadowed by Chris Sale. Right. This guy is a good pitcher. You know, he's on schedule to pitch over 200 innings again this year. It would be the 4th straight year.
1-2 to Miguel Sano. Half swing, strike 3.
And there's that half swing. Let it fly. So Quintana picks up a big strikeout.
When they beat him with the 2 Dozier home runs, they took advantage of the few opportunities they had that night. There's Sano way out in front of that breaking ball. And so here they are presented, in part because of the Saladino error, a great chance to score. And you don't get those every inning against a guy like Quintana. Here's Vargas. Vargas 3 for 8 against Quintana. Takes outside, ball 1. Inning 455
right.
in just 11 at bats, but 5 hits from the right side of the plate.
Yeah, and 3 of them doubles and 1 a home run. So 4 of the 5 have been extra base hits for Vargas. Off
the plate again, 2-0.
Quintana changes speeds well with that breaking ball. He'll work both sides of the plate with that fastball. Four-seamer in on right-handers. He turns it over a little bit if he wants it down and away. Good changeup.
3-0. Kepler on deck.
And walks really have not been an issue for Quintana over his career. Only 32 walks in 131 innings pitched this year.
6 of them in one game. 6 walks in 5 1/3 innings against the Red Sox at Fenway Park.
He's averaged 2.3 walks per 9 innings, so that's excellent.
3-0 to Vargas. And he takes a strike at the knees. He was taking all the way. Twins climbing the ladder after a very slow start in April. They are now 10th in the league in runs scored, 10th in the league in home runs.
Got to look for a pitch to hit right here. Quintana's going to challenge him.
On the middle again.
Those are the pitches that I don't understand some of these young kids take. That 3-1 fastball. Be ready to swing the bat. Now Quintana type of guy, he may drop the hook on you. He's got enough confidence in that breaking ball or changeup as he does his fastball.
And over the inside corner, Vargas with a 3-0 count took 3 fastballs for strikes. Didn't swing at one of them. And that'll bring up Kepler.
Well, watch this fastball right here. Navarro sitting inside, even though he sat inside, he hit the glove. He hit the glove. And believe me, umpires will give you that little bit.
Well, now suddenly a big at bat for Max Kepler, who's evolved into the best clutch hitter on the team. Strike on the outside corner. Getting started with a double. Grossman looked like he was going to make the first out, but he reached on an error. 2 strikeouts later, this rally is in danger. And might have cracked his bat. 2 strikes.
Kepler's faced Quintana 1 for 3 coming into this at bat. Faced him that June 28th game in the 4-0 win for the Twins.
Oh, 2 to Kepler. Looking for a 2-out hit. Just outside, and Quintana got that exact pitch called to the right-handed batter and didn't get a call to the lefty. The pitch looked exactly where the 3rd strike was called on Vargas.
Somebody giving Cedarstrom some grief.
I'm guessing Don Cooper. That's exactly where Vargas was called out on strikes. And now 2-2.
Quintana, 27 years old, from Colombia, originally signed by the Mets back in 2006.
Two and 2 to Kepler. Out in front of the changeup, and Quintana strikes out Sano, Vargas, and Kepler to keep the White Sox up 1-0.
Justin Morneau.
Justin Morneau playing for the other guys. He was here for the All-Star game, part of the festivities here at Target Field in 2014. But Gary Cederstrom and Kurt Suzuki doing a nice job delaying things to allow the fans who want to pay tribute to a guy who is a very important part of this franchise.
That's getting louder and louder. People are realizing who's at bat. Very nice.
Morneau, the designated hitter, has 1 home run since his activation by the White Sox. Down and away, ball 1.
11 seasons Justin wore a Twins uniform. 2006 American League MVP. Almost won a second in 2008.
Big fly ball down the right field line. Kepler tracking it. And in the grandstand area, Kepler would have made the catch, but somebody Bartmaned him. Looked like a fan, although this was just barely over the barrier. Interfered with Max's attempt to catch the ball.
Let's take a look right here.
Oh, no. No Bartman. Kepler could have caught that. So 1-1 to Morneau.
And again, fans have the right to go after that ball. If it's, you know, in the area.
Driven to deep right field. And off the limestone, Morneau will get a single. A line drive that nearly cleared the ballpark. That's about as high up on the limestone as I think we've seen one.
I'll tell you what, Max Kepler, he hasn't played a lot of right field, but here with that, you know, ball hit like that, he did a great job. Not a bad pitch, down and away. But Morneau pulling that ball, and right off that limestone. And what Kepler does, he stays back rather than going attacking the wall. See him backpedal, and then plays the carom and keeps Morneau to a single.
Nearly
nice
had a
defensive play.
Nearly had a leadoff home run in the second inning as well. Now right back to Nolasco. And they'll get 1 out and 2. A double play. No, they're saying safe at second base. Second base umpire Adrian Johnson is claiming that Nunez did not touch the bag, apparently. Navarro is retired.
Escobar got that ball after Nolasco. I think he hit it off his glove. Take a look right here. Navarro maybe got his hand, but let's see him. Boy,
the side of his foot.
Yeah,
looked like it got the bag clearly.
Right there. Ball.
You can see the base itself being jarred, and it'll be an odd double play. 1-6-3. It's not the first time any of us have written it in our scorebooks, but you don't expect it to happen that way. Now the problem is, this fair and foul in front of the umpires is not reviewable, but this one is reviewable.
Right. Okay, that's what Paul went out to, I think, talk to.
Right. So we're pretty sure Nolasco to Escobar to Vargas, it'll be a double play. You could see the base itself move. There necessarily, but the other angle we showed right here.
He's made contact with the corner of the bag or side of the bag.
I'm putting down 1-6-3. Yep,
he's out. Didn't take long.
And Adrian Johnson, you can understand why from his angle, because that's the one angle that we showed. You couldn't see that the base itself was jarred with the impact of the foot. So 2 down, and J.B. Chuck will bat with the bases empty. Yeah, first of all, a frightening moment for Nolasco. That ball was hit pretty good, and I think you're right. It looked like it hit the back of his glove and deflected toward Escobar.
Well, you want a double play turn behind you. You don't want your life to be in danger trying to get it, but it is a double play. 12th double play turn behind Nolasco. Take a a look right here to see what he gets up. Ooh. Might have clipped his fingers and slowed it down.
Shuck takes a strike. Austin Jackson still on the mend. Shuck getting a chance to play in center. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-2. Velasco 0-2 with an ERA of 10.13 against the White Sox this year. And the dirt dug out by Suzuki.
And he had one of those starts in his last start in Boston last Saturday where he gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. Twins came back and won that ball game 11-9. Velasco got a no decision. Big hit in that ball game off of Velasco was that 3-run home run to Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez
on the ground. Vargas will go to the bag himself. Velasco slow and covering. Just 3 men bat, and interesting top of the second. It's 1-0. Tiger fans, it's probably a little odd for them to see Alex Avila in a White Sox uniform, as it is Twins fans to see Justin Morneau. And Morneau nearly hit a home run, and the fact that he didn't has kept this a 1-0 game. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Eduardo Escobar grounds it left side. Saladino can't reach it, and the former White Sox shortstop picks up a leadoff single here in the second.
Again, Escobar, whether he's a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter, likes that ball down. Saw him pick up a couple hits in yesterday's ball game. Now getting an opportunity to hopefully be the regular shortstop again, with Nunez now a San Francisco Giant. So get more playing time.
Leadoff man on again here in the second inning, and now Eddie Rosario. Twins sending 2 left-handed batters up against Quintana, who's really tough against lefties, giving up just a .212 batting average to them. Kepler and now Rosario. Left center field hanging in the air. Cabrera coming in, and Rosario gone on 1 pitch.
The thing is, Quintana is tough on both lefties and righties. Righties hitting only .239, and opponents overall hitting .233. You know, he started off the season, their first 7 starts, 5-1, 1.38 ERA. Then his next 9, 0-7 with an ERA at 4.50, and over his last 4 starts, 3-0, 2.10. But during that 9 span, right in the middle, he lost some games. But of the 8 losses he's had this year, The White Sox have supported him run support 10 total runs in his 8 losses.
And those 7 losses occurred in a span of 9 starts, and in 5 of those 9 starts he had a quality start.
Right.
1 strike to Suzuki. Twins making the trade last night. Nunez going to the Giants. The trading deadline is 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. Extended a day because the 31st is on a Sunday. Strike called, and Suzuki now has an 0-2 count. And as you're looking at players who might hold some interest for other teams, you would think Suzuki, but it's not very often you see catchers traded in the middle of the season because of the difficult task of getting to know a new pitching staff.
Right.
2 strikes to Suzuki with Escobar at first. You know, any team that would pick up a catcher, whether it's Jonathan Lucroy or Kurt Suzuki, you're asking them in these important games the last 2 months of the year to accelerate the learning curve. Remember when the Twins acquired John Ryan Murphy, they were talking about it's going to take all spring training to get to know the pitching staff. 1-2, and Escobar checked at first.
You know, it really can't be that hard. You know, you have a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a wiggle.
Oh, come on. Huh?
You just have 1, 2, 3 and a wiggle. You just put it down. And
you have to develop a relationship. You've been talking with me for 21 years about the importance of a pitcher's relationship and trust in the catcher.
Take him out to dinner the first night and you talk to him. Say, okay, let's go. Don't worry about it. I'll call my own game.
Forget who the reliever was. He was traded, I think, from the Indians to the Angels, and he showed up after the game started, went to the bullpen and was needed that night. Went to the mound after coming out of the bullpen. The catcher came to the mound. He says, my name is such and such. I throw 88 miles per hour and I got an off-speed pitch. Let's go.
Let's go.
That was it.
And I hope you catch one.
1-2. Hook foul over by the target.
Well, clubs that do not run much on Quintana. Only 4 attempts. 2 have been caught. Done a good job in his career. You know, this guy was released twice way back when. Was released by the Mets back in 2007, then signed with the Yankees, and the Yankees released him back in 2008, then hooked up with the Chicago White Sox.
Fastball missed the inside corner. 2-2. Finally made the All-Star team, named as a replacement for Danny Salazar of the Indians. See his career mark a bit deceiving. Look at the ERA, and yet a losing record, 41-42, because of the lack of run support. Drive to the shortstop. Anderson almost mistimed his jump, but he made the catch out number 2. Let's find Kevin Gordon.
Yeah, Byron Buxton coming to the plate right now, and he spent a long time this afternoon working with Twins hitting coach Tom Bernansky on trying to drive through the baseball. There was a tee involved. There was a lengthy conversation. And there was a lot of work being done trying to get this young man to get a little more comfortable, a little more confidence, trying to work through that ball. Tom Bernansky said we're trying to get him to wait back a little bit longer, give himself a little bit more time, less jittery in that batter's box, and then more conversations, guys, around that cage when the Twins actually went through their batting practice routine. Byron Buxton constantly at the side of Tom Bernansky. They know what an asset this guy is going to be for this organization. They see the speed in the defense. Now they're trying to hone in this part of the game right here. And again, a long afternoon for Buxton working with Tom Bernansky. We'll see if it pays off tonight.
Hey, you want to get better, you have to pay attention to somebody that, like your hitting coach or whoever, but you don't want to take too much. You want to relax a little bit, and that's the tough part. I think there's that fine line between doing too much and now it's all in your mind, and you go up there and you start thinking about so many different things rather than see the ball hit the ball.
Ultimately, it comes down to confidence, whether you're on the mound or at the plate, right? You've got to believe that you belong here and that you can succeed here. And Buxton hasn't gotten to that point yet. 1-1. And I was talking with Tony Oliva about that this afternoon during batting practice, and then I started the conversation, and we were talking about the time it takes to learn and all. And then I realized I'm talking to a guy who jumped into the league in 1964, won batting titles his first 2 years. This was not the audience to have that discussion. Fouled away down the right field.
I know
line.
the years I played with Tony, you know what made him a good hitter? What did he say? I see the ball, I hit the ball. I mean, that was it was simple. You know, sometimes, you know, Buxton, yes, he's been struggling. He knows that he needs to hit to stay here. And then that's that pressure that you put on yourself. You just can't relax. And maybe a couple hits here or there, hopefully he can get going.
Buxton against Quintana, 0 for 6, but no strikeouts. And that's a key for Buxton's evolution as a player, is to put the ball in play more often. 2-2 with 2 gone here in the second. Just missed. 3-2.
It's the second time that Quintana has started walking toward their dugout thinking he had strike 3. He thought he had Kepler struck out in the first inning. He ended up getting him later.
Well inside the rectangle there.
Yeah, good pitch.
3-2. Escobar will leave early from first.
Navarro now sitting in.
Popped up right side. And no play for Abreu. As the Twins look forward to 2017 while trying to win as many games this year as they can, I really believe the most important thing that can happen to this team is Buxton figuring some things out here in the next 2 months. So we can go into the offseason and spring training full of confidence. The fact of the matter is the Twins still project him as being a leadoff batter, and now they need one with Nunez gone. Dozier will hit there most of the time, but he's the old style leadoff man with great speed if he can get to base, first base, enough. Popped up right side, and Eaton comes in to end the inning. Another leadoff hit, another man left aboard. It's 1-0 after 2. Going to the third inning, and the Twins, after beating the Orioles last night, sent their best player this year, Eduardo Nunez, their all-star player, to San Francisco, where he will join a pennant race. Adalberto Mejia, a left-handed pitcher, he can throw in the low 90s, and all indications are things were starting to come together for him in the minor leagues. Did very well at AA, promoted to AAA.
Yeah, AAA 4-1 record in AAA, was pitching well. And Rob Antonin, the new general manager, interim general manager, saying that saying that he sees Mejia possibly be in that starting rotation next year.
And maybe a chance of getting here yet this year. Twins have a shortage of left-handed starting pitching in the system. And so we'll see how he fares in his first few starts for Rochester. 1-1 to Tyler Saladino, and he takes outside 2-1. White Sox 13th in the league in runs scored. And they have really struggled since a red hot start. Liner to right. Kepler is there to make the catch. One down. Some well hit balls here early on against Nolasco, and that'll bring up Carlos Sanchez.
Yeah, not a bad pitch right there. Saladino hitting that ball sharply, but right at Kepler.
Sanchez called up. Brent Laurie, their regular second baseman, has a hamstring issue.
Sanchez up and down with the White Sox this year. Started in AAA. This is his 4th stint. Didn't get a lot of playing time. Switch hitter. Infielder, can play all 3 infield positions. Third, short, and second.
Strike one to Sanchez. Added to the starting lineup when Todd Frazier went out with flu-like symptoms. Wave and a miss, 0-2. And the scratch of Frazier occurred after the lineups were exchanged. And if somebody gets scratched, they're probably not going to play later in the game anyway. But Frazier is eliminated from competition tonight, and that will simplify things for Paul Molitor, one would think, in the late innings. A little pop-up left side near the bag. Sano makes the catch. 2 down. White Sox have 13 pitchers, and in a full roster only 3 bench players, and now they'll have just 2. Coors Light cold hard facts. Adam Eaton with a lot of hits to the opposite way and one to the pull side here tonight.
That's what I was talking about in first at bat. You know, hits a lot of balls to left field, left center, but
and he hits one 447 feet to right.
So I'll never say that again. This guy is a pull hitter.
1 strike to Eaton. Clobbered the second pitch of the game for a home run. The 12th time this year that the Twins have given up a leadoff home run. Now Vargas will get the ground ball, go to the bag, and a much better third inning for Ricky Nolasco. Home run, giving the White Sox a 1-0 lead. Brian Dozier answered with a leadoff double, our Toyota key stat. The turnaround for Brian Dozier, and yes, using the whole field is part of the change in Brian's game. And you can see the average is up near 300, and he hasn't given back any power with 10 home runs in that time. Outside ball 1. As tough a time as the Twins have had against Quintana, Dozier, for whatever reason, seems to see the ball well out of his hand. A couple of home runs the last time he faced Quintana. He got a pitch away. He drove it hard off the base of the fence in right for a double.
Yeah, there are certain hitters that see certain pitchers well. And it looks like Brian has a lot of confidence facing Quintana.
Down the line, but foul.
Even that pitch right there hit it sharply.
1-2. Fortunately for the Twins, Dozier got a leadoff double and never got to third base, much less scored a run. Popped up. And Abreu crosses the line for the first out. One down. And that'll bring up Grossman. White Sox kind of caught in between. They've not played well. They are below 500. But they're only 8.5 games out of first, and they are in the wild card tussle, if you will. You don't know whether you're Rick Hahn, Kenny Williams, whether you throw in the towel and start rebuilding, what you should do. Now, last year, going into the trade deadline, the White Sox really hamstrung themselves by playing well enough that they couldn't pull the trigger, or chose not to, on any trades. They kept Jeff Samardzija, who was a free agent to be. 1-0 to Grossman, and now 2-0. Figuring that, hey, we got Sale, we got Quintana, we got Samardzija, Rodon will call him up, we can take a run at this thing. And then Samardzija and the White Sox fell flat after the trade deadline, and then they ended up losing Samardzija to free agency.
Well, that's a gamble that you take. You know, you feel like your club is on a good pattern, and they're going to get in a race, stay in a race. You don't want to mix up the chemistry by sometimes a trade.
And now 2-2 to Grossman. Short right center field. And Eaton streaks in to make the catch. 2 down.
Well, we have seen Quintana, what he's done a good job of pitching everybody inside and then changing speeds with that breaking ball. That last pitch of Grossman right there, in on the belt. And Robbie just couldn't get the bat out quick enough and popped it up.
So now with runners at first and second, nobody out. Had the count go 3-0, and then ended up striking out on a check swing. Swing and a miss.
He's coming right at Sano. His first at bat, first 2 fastballs, actually first 3 fastballs. Went right after him. Sano fouled off the third one. Another fastball.
And he struck out on the breaking ball. Check swing. 0-2. 1-2.
You see the velocity. He'll top out right about there, 93. And he'll change speeds on the breaking ball, tighten it up here or there, going inside.
Missed the corner.
Little cutter right there.
2-2.
This guy knows how to pitch. 93 high, 76 low so far.
And on the outside corner, Sano strikes out for the second time tonight. And Quintana has his first 1-2-3 inning. Sports North is presented by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. 1-0 White Sox with Tim Anderson ready to lead off the fourth inning for Chicago. He will be followed by Melky Cabrera, and Jose Abreu.
Yeah, Tim Anderson, just 23 years old. White Sox #1 pick back in 2013. They're called up in the first part of June.
You must have faced many hitters as you looked at their stat line. You prepared for games and maybe players you weren't too sure of, didn't know much about, much experience against. And you ran into players like Tim Anderson, who you almost cannot walk. He has 2 walks in 180 at bats. That's got to help you out there on the mound, doesn't it? I mean, why throw him a strike?
Well, Nolasco's at a good spot right now. I mean, here's a guy, he's ahead in the count 1-2. Now you want to drop that curveball just on the other side, maybe bust him in a little bit. This guy looks like he's a leaner.
But under no circumstances should you throw him a strike here, should you?
No, and that's where Suzuki is, off the plate.
Tap to third. Sano has to hurry. No problem with that arm.
And that's exactly what Nolasco did right there. Curveball, and Anderson got himself out.
Garbage time with Katie Nolan has been called epic, witty, and refreshing. 3 adjectives that have never described our 21 years together. In the future of sports TV, don't miss an all-new episode of the Emmy-winning sensation, Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Central, only on FS1.
I like the garbage.
1 down, and here is Melky Cabrera. One and 0. Cabrera hit a fly ball to Kepler his first time up.
Cabrera in his second season with the White Sox. Came up with the Yankees back in 2005.
2-0. Liner to Dozier. Cabrera never left the batter's box. He hit a rocket towards Dozier and never budged out of the batter's box.
He knew exactly where that ball was going. He knew Brian Dozier was standing right there. He put good wood on it, but it's an out. Fastball right there. And that's how quick it got to Dozier.
I'd like to see the guy move out of the box, wouldn't you, in case Dozier dropped it?
He moved out when he was walking back to the dugout.
Backwards, away from first base.
That's okay. They're the other team.
1 strike to Abreu. Hit a ground ball to Sano his first time up. Because Sano's had some problems both with pop-ups and ground balls, you could make the case that the best thing for him is to have the ball hit to him a lot. And everyone's willing to allow for the fact that he didn't take any ground balls at third base or pop-ups for that matter. But he's made some careless mistakes, and the Twins want those cleaned up. He was out early today taking some extra ground balls from Gene Glenn, working on his footwork.
Hey, you know what? Everybody's not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Just don't do it again. That's what they don't want to see. Don't do it over and over and over. Learn from your mistake. We've all been there.
2-1 to Abreu. Now 3-1 with Morneau on deck.
Nolasco's retired 7 straight. You don't want to give this guy a cookie. He can hit a long way. You have to pitch around this guy. Be careful.
Bouncer to short. Escobar waits for the head high second hop across the diamond. And a 1-2-3 fourth inning. 8 in a row sent down by Nolasco. Kenny Vargas will lead things off in the bottom of the fourth. presented by Evinrude. And another night game tomorrow. The Twins moving their Saturday schedule to night games, 6 o'clock tomorrow, and then a day game Sunday. Then the Twins go to Cleveland. Kenny Vargas to lead things off here in the 4th. Strike one. Vargas came up with 1 out and runners at first and second, and he ended up taking a pitch that was inside for a called strike 3. Stroked solidly, but foul. And the count goes to 0-2.
Yeah, Quintana, one thing he does a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. Not a lot of home runs allowed. 13 home runs in 135 innings pitched so far this year. Last year he worked 206 innings, gave up only 16 home runs. Now going away.
Just missed.
Little cutter there. Todd said at top of the show, he works both sides of the plate, east and west, and then north and south also, up and down. Now he wants it north.
Around the hands, 2-2. Let's see pitch 3 just outside. Not been a good or a fun year for Robin Ventura. It was in the first month when the White Sox won 17 games. Outside now 3-2. Fox Tracks presented by Chrysler. It was a 3-2 pitch in the first that froze Vargas for a called third strike. A fastball in off the plate. Foul back.
Good swing by Vargas, just getting underneath that baseball. "17 hits for Vargas, 9 doubles, 3 home runs."
And there is ball 4. Vargas draws the walk, and Quintana got ahead of him 0-2, but ended up losing him.
First walk for Quintana in the ball game to go along with his 4 strikeouts. Couple hits allowed.
Leadoff man on for the 3rd time in 4 innings against Quintana. And now here's Kepler, who went down swinging to wrap up the first inning threat. It's a bunt foul. Trying to bunt it in front of Saladino. We haven't seen Kepler do that successfully, but we've seen him do it, which will only add to his game.
Well, Saladino was playing a little bit toward the shortstop side, so Kepler, I'm sure, was seeing that. If I could lay it down on the grass, he just fouled it off.
Kepler, in addition to everything else, runs very well. Fouled back. Had a pitch up and missed it.
Good swing there.
So now it's 0-2 to Kepler.
Kepler, just 23 years old, having a great month of July. 8 home runs, 23 runs batted in the 22 ball games he played in prior to this game. 2 doubles, 2 triples, 12 of his 20 hits, extra base hits. Watch out.
Off the glove of Quintana, and it'll be a double play. Wow.
Yeah, both starters here. Ball's hit right back up the middle. Looked like Nolasco got a piece of it with his fingers to slow it down. And Quintana, I don't know where this ball hit him to slow it down. Did he get a glove up in time? Right back up the middle.
Oh
boy.
That was headed right for his noggin.
Yes, it was. He just got a piece of the glove up.
Oh.
And that slowed it down perfectly over to Anderson for the double play. So both sides have a 1-6 unassisted 3 double play.
Base is empty. Here's Escobar. Up and away, ball 1. Escobar with a ground ball single to left, his first time up.
Tell you what, that wakes you up as a pitcher too when that ball comes flying right back at you. You know, pitcher's rubber to home plate is 60 feet 6 inches. By the time you release that ball, you're about 55, 53 feet from that hitter.
Saladino gets the second hop and flips across. A leadoff walk, but only 3 men faced by Quintana, and it's still 1-0.
White Sox coming to bat with a 1-0 lead. We are smack dab in the middle of the Minnesota State Lottery's winner's circle. We got a really cool sign to honor some retired military veterans, and we've got the Circle Me Bert homemade shirts. Joe from Plymouth, 100 scratch-off tickets for your group. Tell us all about them.
We just got the group together to come out tonight. We got the sign for Bruce over here. He's a 30-year veteran of the Army. Made up the shirts from home, wanted to come out, have a good time. Finally got circled. Thanks, Bert.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
God bless everybody here that's obviously made the sacrifices that you've made to get 100 scratch-off tickets, the new Kitty Cash from the Minnesota State Lottery, and one of the coolest signs, and by far, guys, the best props I've seen in many seasons out here. The Circle Me Bert shirts, big winners tonight here at the ballpark.
Hey, guys, congratulations. Buxton fell down, able to get back up and make the catch. Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty. Hey, you know what? We tip our hats to those servicemen for what they have done.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and you all hereby circle.
Morneau quickly retired, and now Navarro will bat.
Yeah, Buxton losing his footing out in center field, but you can see right there he's going to go back and gets back up quickly, keeping his eye on the ball, tracking it, and making the catch.
1 down, and now Navarro. And outside of ball. 9 in a row set down by Nolasco here. And a strike.
Navarro in his first season with the White Sox, last couple with the Toronto Blue Jays. American League All-Star back in 2008 when he was a member of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Another breaking ball and a strike.
Alex Avila out with a hamstring injury. Navarro getting a lot of playing time.
And Navarro strikes out on 3 pitches.
And Nolasco picks up his second strikeout, first strikeout since the first inning.
50 pitches for Nolasco, and he's gotten 14 outs.
Yep.
Carsoup.com trivia question: who finished second in the 2006 American League MVP voting? We know Morneau won it. Good question.
Yeah, I said Justin almost won the MVP in 2008 too. He came in second that year behind Dustin Pedroia, who won the MVP that year.
Two and 0 to J.B. Shuck. And of course 3 years later Joe Mauer won it basically with 5 months of playing time. He won the MVP award. Just outside 3-0.
It's good to see Justin again.
All come back from wrist surgery in addition to all the concussion issues he's had. Wrist surgery in the wintertime took him a while to be able to swing a bat. Up high, and it's a walk to Shuck. We'll bring up Saladino.
And ends a streak of 10 straight retired by Nolasco. His first walk of the ball game.
Saladino with a liner to Kepler his first time up.
And Nolasco a lot like Quintana. Excellent control. Nolasco averaging 2.1 walks per 9 innings in his career. This is his 268th major league start.
Evan Root game summary. The only run of the game coming on the second pitch of the game.
Not a lot of hits in this ball game. Both White Sox and Twins have 2 each.
On the outside corner.
Good curveball. Velasco's faced 17 batters. He's been able to get strike 1, 6 on fastballs, 4 on breaking balls. Oh, good jump, step off.
And the ball dropped by Dozier. Still time to recover, but he got back. Nolasco stepped off, threw low to Dozier, but it was in the air on the fly. And Dozier dropped the pickoff throw, and Shuck was able to scamper back to first.
Shuck just taking off right here. You step off, you throw it a second, that ball gets away from Bryant. And then the relay throw over. Shuck was a dead duck right there, but instead he's able to get back to first base.
Shuck thought about advancing to second, realized he was going to run into the tag there. And now 1-1. No error on the play. No play. Missing inside, and Shuck that time fainted toward second base.
Yeah, Shuck with a couple stolen bases in 4 attempts. You saw Brian smiling right there. I think that ball just handcuffed him, and you just, sometimes you just got to smile. Nothing you can do.
You can hit him in the thumb of the glove.
I'm sure, Brian trying to pick up the runner where Chuck was, and took maybe his eye off the ball. It happens. There have been 5 stolen bases against Nolasco this year in 6 attempts. So pretty good at holding on runners.
Paul Molitor talked about that the other day, that of course it was such a point of emphasis in spring training, wanting the battery, not just the catchers to take some accountability, but the pitchers too. And there have been far fewer stolen base attempts against the Twins because by and large the runners are being paid attention to. 2-2.
Well, you hold it a little bit longer like Nolasco did right there. Big slow curveball, picks up his 3rd strikeout.
A hitless, scoreless 5th. The Twins still down 1-0. Mountain Dew fans of the game, enjoying a beautiful night here at the ballpark and another pitcher's duel. We've seen this Twins lineup blow hot and cold in terms of producing runs, and they typically haven't done much against Quintana, and that's been the case here tonight. Rosario flied out on the first pitch he saw in the second. He just took ball one leading off the fifth. And now 1-1.
Ouch. That hurts. Rosario will walk it off. You have that pad down there, but I don't think it hit the pad. Might hit him right on top of the foot. He's still feeling it.
Popped up over the White Sox dugout. Now to play. Twins have had a hard time scoring against the White Sox. In the first 6 games, they scored a total of 9 runs. Of course, that was back in April.
The offense was really sputtering back in April. Pitching staff pitched well, but offense didn't do much.
Outside. Twins opened up the home schedule here, lost all 3 games, scored 2 runs, then went to Chicago in early May and didn't do a whole lot better. Dribbled up the first baseline foul.
Yeah, Twins were 7-17 in April, 8-19 in May, 10-17 in June, and 13-10 so far here in the month of July.
Need to win one of these games to have a winning July. You'd like to think you could win at least 2, and then turn the calendar page and try to repeat it again in August.
Right.
2-2, and of course it's different now because they'll be playing the balance of this season without the guy who was their best player this year, Eduardo Nunez. And this too a foul ball up the line. And there might be more changes to come. You hear names like Fernando Abad, Brandon Kitzler out of the Twins bullpen. I think Kepler's job is safe with the Twins.
You know, Polanco getting called up right there. You know, you're going to get some playing time. Twins have to see what they have.
2-2 to Rosario. Long look in and a staring contest, and Rosario says, I've had enough. In Polanco's case, he played almost exclusively second base at Rochester. But the Twins have a second baseman in Brian Dozier. And Rosario chases and finally strikes out, 1 down.
And strikeout number 5 for Quintana.
And we were talking about Tim Anderson of the White Sox never walking, and Rosario, of course, that's an issue for him too. He has only 4 walks, but 2 of those were intentional walks. 1 down, and now Suzuki. Suzuki line to Anderson his first time up. Can you remember a team that you were on in your 22-year career that acquired a catcher? Now in '87, Drew Butera, or Sal Butera, came over middle of the season, but as a backup to Tim Laudner.
Yeah, we had Mark Salas actually at the beginning of the year.
And then he was traded to the Yankees. Right. 1-0 to Suzuki.
I don't think it's that big an issue, to be honest with you. You sit down with your pitching staff and you know, Suzuki would have no trouble if that were to happen. I don't believe that. He's an established catcher.
1-1 in the last year of his deal. And if the Twins were to deal Suzuki, that wouldn't preclude them from re-signing him as a free agent. That's one of the things to consider here. The Twins don't have someone knocking on the door behind the plate at AAA to take over next year. Didn't mean to. A check swing foul.
Now, does he not have a vesting option depending on at-bats? That's what I read on Suzuki.
Contract status says here he's signed through this year only. 1-2. And now 2-2.
Well, Suzuki in his 10th major league season, played with Oakland a couple of times, the Nationals, of course, in his 3rd season with the Twins. All-star for the Twins in 2014.
Out in front. Strikeout of Suzuki. 2 down in the 5th.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Quintana with 6 strikeouts in a ball game. Changing speeds, working both sides of the plate. And this is a breaking ball right here. Suzuki, big swing, but misses it.
And now Buxton hit a fly ball to right his first time up. Bounce foul past Gene Glenn.
There's that ball boy again, making good plays.
1 strike to Buxton. Part of the puzzle that the Twins are trying to unlock or solve with Buxton is his difficulty against left-handed pitching. Came into the game, now his average against right-handers isn't very good, but you'd expect his average against lefties to be a little bit better. But he's hitting only 179 against lefties. 2-1. Three and 1. Dozier on deck.
I look at Quintana's delivery, pretty simple. Working off the first base side of the pitching rubber, does a good job getting to that balance point with that high leg kick.
Popped up. Short right center field. And Eaton has to come in and make the catch. Sanchez lost it. And Buxton pops up, and it's a 1-2-3 5th inning. Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. What's yours? Beautiful night here at the ballpark. Just a 1-0 ball game so far. The second pitch of the game hit for a home run. And now Ricky Nolasco pitching to the White Sox in the 6th. He'll start by pitching to Carlos Sanchez.
Only 2 hits off on Nolasco, the home run, and then a single by Morneau.
And a soft line drive, and Escobar is there to snag it, one down.
And that hit off of Morneau. He was erased by the double play in the second inning. So Nolasco's been outstanding.
And now Adam Eaton, who did the damage on the second pitch from Nolasco. 5th time in the last 9 games that the opponent has hit a leadoff home run. 12th time this year. And I'd be stunned if all 12 weren't belt-high fastballs right down the middle.
Challenge them early. Yeah, both starters pitching well. Nolasco 5 1/3. Both have allowed only 2 hits. The home run only the damage in this ball game.
1 strike to Eaton. Breaking ball, pounded foul. This was a fastball, and it was right down the middle.
And I just mentioned Eaton takes a lot of balls to left field. He didn't take that one to left field.
Two, and Eaton is hitting the ankle by a fastball.
Like a fastball just got away from him, down and in, and Eaton tried to get out of the way, but it got that ankle area. That'll slow him up. Nolasco hitting just his 3rd batter of the year. See the grip, the 2-seam fastball. Right in the right ankle.
Been a little back and forth between these two teams this year. Abreu got hit. Trevor Plouffe broke his ribs, or a rib, in a game against the White Sox. And now ball 1 to Tim Anderson. Anderson 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground ball to 3rd. Toward the hole, backhanded to Escobar, to Dozier, and a relay to first, not in time.
Yeah, Anderson too quick down that line, but a nice backhanded play by Escobar, making sure you get 1 out. And Escobar be able to do that.
Since he fractured his rib, taking a fastball to the ribs, he's been taking some swings in the batting cage, and he'll leave to go on a rehab assignment on Monday with the Rochester Red Wings.
Talking to Trevor, he said he's feels good. He's ready to go. Need some at bats down in the minor leagues.
Up and away, ball 1. It's apparent that Jorge Polanco won't have unless the Twins make a move, unless they create some roster space with a roster move. 1-0 to Melky Cabrera. But one of these times Polanco will get called up, and he'll get the opportunity that Max Kepler got, which was to get into the lineup, play every day, see how you do, and see what happens. Doesn't appear that that's the case this time around.
And it really hasn't been for him in all his call-ups. Two years ago, 2 call-ups last year, 4 call-ups so far, and they got him picked off. Yeah, Anderson was leaning. Oh no, run him all the way. Oh, this is too many.
Snowball fight.
Yeah.
And finally that ends the 6th inning, where Nolasco faces just 3 batters hitting 1, and it's still 1-0.
All right, listen to this, Dick. Only in Minnesota can you wild, bald, and golden eagles in their natural habitat at the National Eagle Center located in Wabasha, Minnesota. I've been there. It's a beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. This landmark center is located on the banks of the Mississippi River in Wabasha, Minnesota. I've been there, where you can catch a glimpse of a wild eagle from our observatory deck. Yeah, you can do that. Find endless ideas for perfect getaway. Go to exploreminnesota.com.
You know, if they ever do yet another sequel of Grumpy Old Men, which was filmed in Wabasha, you would be cast perfectly as.
I want to be Walter Matthau.
Do you?
Yeah. I liked his attitude in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, sourpuss.
As long as you end up with Ann Margaret, you'd be fine with that?
It's okay.
Okay. Actually, Jack Lemmon ended up with Ann Margaret. Tap foul. And then the second one, it was Sophia Loren. Right? So I'm trying to imagine if you had the starring role in Grumpy Old Men 3, who we could have as your love interest with your wife Gail's permission.
That'd be my wife Gail.
2 strikes.
She'd have to be part of the show.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How long you been married? I think I know why. That's a good answer right there.
Thank you very much.
Tap left side. And Saladino took it away from Anderson, and Dozier gets a leadoff hit.
A little ball hogging going on right there. Anderson had the best shot at maybe getting Dozier at first base. Saladino cutting across right here. His momentum's going towards second base. And you can see he had a little trouble gripping that baseball, but actually that is Anderson's play. And infield base hit for Brian Dozier.
Robbie Grossman will bat, reached on a Saladino error, and then hit a fly ball to right.
First hit for the Twins since the second inning. And for Dozier, his second hit.
Jabbed at, foul. Grossman's been perhaps the best thing that's happened to the Twins other than the emergence of Nunez, but he's no longer with the club anymore. Grossman's playing just about every day. Got an on-base percentage of .414 coming into the game. Can play 3 outfield positions. And provided a little power early, but he's yet to hit a home run in July. And Dozier chased back to the bag. 7 steals, 7 tries, but as Bert mentioned, Quintana's a tough guy to steal against. One strike to the Twins designated hitter. And fouled back.
Now Grossman's actually last home run came in Chicago against left-handed pitcher Carlos Rondon when Twins went back-to-back with Brian Dozier and Grossman.
Twins will take a double here, get the game tied up with Dozier at first. Foul tip, and Navarro hangs on. And Grossman strikes out.
Got an off-speed pitch, breaking ball right there. And strikeout number 7 in the ball game for Quintana. Take a look at the pitch. Good hard breaking ball.
Really only been one well-hit ball against Quintana, and that was Dozier's opening double. Escobar's single was on a ground ball through the hole. Here's Sano. He hasn't put a ball in play yet. Striking out twice, one swinging, one's looking. Drilled to center, a base hit. Dozier will round second, on his way to third. Shuck firing back towards second. Here comes Sano, and he's safe. A head-first slide for the big man.
I think Sanchez was completely fooled that Sano would try to turn that into a double. Moving out off towards center field to get that ball. And I don't think he knew Sano was going. Ball down. You can see he wanted it away. And Sano lining it up the middle. Dozier going from first to third. And the hustle of Sano right there, deciding, yeah, I can make it.
It's a good play. White Sox will play the infield back now for Kenny Vargas, the tying run at third. Vargas has struck out looking and walked. Up and away, ball one.
Double for Sano, his 12th of the year.
I think Chuck threw to second base, kind of a courtesy throw to just make sure the guy doesn't advance. He didn't know that Sano was intent on advancing. One and 0 to Vargas. And Navarro will come out for a chat. These are situations the Twins need to do a better job executing. Quick trip to the mound by the catcher. Paul Molitor talked about it the other day. The White Sox basically are giving Vargas a run batted in here, even if he hits it on the ground anywhere but back to the mound and maybe to Saladino. Dozier runs well at third.
Quintana wanted to talk to his catcher to see what he wants to do here.
And hack foul over the Twins dugout, 1-1.
I don't think he's going to leave a ball out over the plate. He wants to pitch Vargas, I think, hard in and then have him chase that breaking ball.
Vargas with a strikeout about once every 3 at bats.
Watch Navarro again, the catcher, move inside.
Snap bat, and it'll drop into right field. Dozier will score. Sano is going through the stop sign. He's out by 20 feet. Sano running bases aggressively twice, safely into second, and he ran right through a stop sign for an out here in the 6th inning at home plate.
Yeah, not a good decision right there by Sano. My goodness, watch this broken bat goes back inside. And Vargas for a second, I don't think he knew where this ball went. The barrel of the bat went back toward the pitcher or third base. But the ball flared into right field. Brian tying it up.
Not much a third base coach can do.
No, can't grab him. Vargas ties the game with his 8th RBI.
And now Kepler with a runner at first and 2 away. Up and in, ball 1. Kepler struck out in the first, swinging, and then he hit a bullet that was headed for Quintana's head. He got his glove up and deflected it, and ended up turning it into a double play. Way out in front, 1-1. Paul Molitor talking about Kepler's great July, just basically asking Twins fans to pump the brakes here a little bit, remembering that Trevor Plouffe had a great month a few years ago. Looked like Plouffe was going to develop into a 35-40 home run a year guy, and that hasn't happened. And the Twins don't expect Kepler to be that guy either. He's just having a really good month driving the ball and picking up home runs.
And you hope it continues, that he at least has good quality at bats, and we've seen that from Max Kepler.
1 and 2. This time it caroms off of Quintana, and Kepler will get a hit, I think. So he's lucky that Kepler's line drive in the 4th inning didn't hit him in the temple. And then he had an easier play here and didn't make it. Base hit for Kepler, and the inning will continue. 4th hit of the inning.
Well, breaking ball away. Kepler hitting it back, and the ball just boxed right there by Quintana. He should have caught that ball. Well, Don Cooper, the pitching coach, out to talk to his left-hander and the infielders.
the meeting breaks up. And Escobar will have a chance with 2 men on and 2 out. Escobar 1 for 2 tonight. Big swing and a foul on a pitch up. Escobar looked like he was waiting for it, but missed it.
Now, you mentioned before, Escobar, a former White Sox, signed by the White Sox out of Venezuela back in 2006, came up with the White Sox in 2011. A couple years and then traded over to the Twins in 2012. We mentioned yesterday, was 4 years ago yesterday that Escobar was traded for Francisco Liriano.
That's down the left field line. And a foul ball. Not by much, but Chad Whitson calls it foul. And we'll see if the Twins want to take a look at that. And they do. Doesn't mean they'll challenge. Foul by inches.
Wow.
Good call by the third base umpire. Might have scored 2 runs.
Yeah, Chad Whitson, a call-up umpire.
So now Quintana has an 0-2 count on Escobar. Oh, and 2. That kicks away, and Navarro can't find it, and that could be a very significant wild pitch. It was hardly a foregone conclusion if Escobar gets a base hit that Vargas would score.
You know, when Navarro was setting up, looked like for a fastball up. You see right there, and it ends up being a breaking ball. So it might a little cross up right there, but Navarro, by the time he could find the ball, a wild pitch will be charged to Quintana. It's his 7th wild pitch of the year.
Twins have 4 hits in the inning. So far, only 1 run. 1-2 to Escobar. Got him with a breaking ball. And the Twins get the game tied up, but a base running mistake keeps the damage to a minimum, and we're tied headed to the 7th. another pitcher's duel.
Home run, second pitch of the ball game by Adam Eaton made it a 1-0 lead. Both pitchers settled them down nicely. Twins finally tie it in the 6th. Quintana with 8 strikeouts in the ball game. Ricky Nolasco, 3 strikeouts. He's only given up a couple hits. That home run we talked about, and then a base hit. 2 more no. The broken bat blooper into right field scores Dozier, but then the runaway freight train right there gets tagged out.
The fundamental mistake by Sano. He rounded third base and he was looking to the ball, not to the coach. And there's a reason they put a man there. And for the runner running from second to third, he should be looking at the coach, not over his shoulder at the baseball. 1 strike to Cabrera as we begin the 7th inning. Stroke foul, 0-2. Cabrera's 0 for 2. Then Abreu, he's 0 for 2. And then Morneau hit the ball hard twice. 1 for 2.
I think Nolasco's done a good job of changing speeds on his breaking ball, establishing the fastball.
Change up, lifted foul.
Nolasco making his 21st start. Looking for his 5th win and his first win here at Target Field.
Nolasco had a good start to the season going, although the Twins didn't have a good April. He went 1-0 with an ERA of 3.25, but his monthly ERAs have not been good since. 1-2 to the left field corner. Rosario chasing it. He won't get there, and it'll go all the way into the corner. And Cabrera drops a double to left field to start the 7th inning.
Nolasco hasn't left too many breaking balls up. That one he did, and Cabrera, you know, good hitter from both sides of the plate, hitting .292 as a left-handed hitter coming into this ball game. Weighted back nicely and just sliced it right into the corner. For Cabrera, his 23rd double of the year, and only the 3rd hit for the White Sox.
And now Abreu, who's pulled 2 ground balls to the left side. Nolasco hopes he hits a 3rd one here to get the out and keep Cabrera at second base. And a breaking ball over the inside corner. Abreu's had some success against Nolasco. 5 for 16, couple of home runs. Fouled away, not 2 strikes. Nolasco has struck him out 3 times, and of course he'd like to get a strikeout, a pop-up, or that ground ball to the left side here.
Abreu struck out 85 times in 374 at-bats. Go with right here. Ahead in the count. Abreu will chase that breaking ball down and away. It's got to be a good one. Don't leave it up though. We're ahead in the count here.
Sinking fastball down and in.
Nolasco has 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. And go back inside again, run that fastball. Watch Suzuki move.
Got him. And just the 4th strikeout of the game for Nolasco, but an awfully big one there.
Yeah, looks like the changeup right there. That keeps Abreu, Correa at second base.
Carsute.com trivia: who finished second in 2006? I want to say it was a Yankee, and I'm not sure which one. Derek Jeter. I think he had some competition within the Yankee roster that year, and some people thought that the New York vote was split, and that's one of the reasons that Morneau won the MVP. It was an incredible year for the Twins, with Morneau winning the MVP, Mauer winning a batting title, and Johan Santana winning the Cy Young Award. That was just 10 years ago, and the Twins dominated the individual awards and of course got into the playoffs. 2-0 to Morneau. A base is open. Navarro, the on-deck hitter. On the outside corner. Morneau later would win a batting title himself with the Rockies. It's a pretty good resume.
Yep.
You've got a league MVP, a batting championship. Fouled back, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, in 2014 won the batting title for the National League with the Rockies, hitting .319.
The year before that, Michael Kadire won one with the Rockies. Coors Field must be a pretty good place to hit.
Well, I heard about that.
2-2. Nolasco dueling Morneau. Down and in, missed.
Tried that changeup right there, the same pitch that struck out Abreu. But Justin laid off of it.
Ground ball to third. Sano looks the runner back. 2 down. And that'll bring up Navarro. Join us for the first ever Twins Women's Baseball Clinic, sponsored by Mayo Clinic, at Target Field on Saturday. This exclusive clinic is intended for young adults and adult women interested in improving their baseball skills and having fun at Target Field. No baseball experience necessary.
That's tomorrow.
It is. For more information and to register, hurry up. Visit twinsbaseball.com/women's clinic or call 612-659-3508. Navarro 0 for 2. Hit the smash against Nolasco's hand or glove for a double play in the second, then struck out in the fifth. Nice stop by Suzuki, ball 1. In the first inning, the Twins got a leadoff double, but didn't score. In fact, didn't move Dozier from second base. And now Nolasco in the 7th inning, trying to strand Cabrera at second after his leadoff double. Changeup drifts outside, 2-0.
Got 2 straight changeups. Pitch count still good at 84. Had some quick innings.
Breaking ball over. As teams, contending teams, are scrambling to try to fill out their rotations. I imagine there would be some interest in Nolasco. I don't know what the Twins would get back with another year left on his contract at a pretty hefty price. We'll see if Nolasco can finish off the 7th inning here. Keep this a 1-1 game. Center field and deep. Buxton is there. End of inning.
Good job by Nolasco.
Cabrera left at second, and it's still 1 apiece. Coverage of baseball, things getting interesting, of course, as we wrap up the month of July. Cameron Maybin's been a great addition for the Tigers this year. Edwin Encarnacion with his 28th home run and a double. And Rick Porcello pitched well against the Twins on his last 5 starts. And here it's a 1-1 ball game, and the starting pitching has been outstanding. And the situational hitting and base running has not been so good.
Well, especially last inning for the Twins, but Quintana doing a good job right now at 100 pitches.
He'll face Rosario, Suzuki, and Buxton in the 7th inning.
There's only 4 games this year that Quintana has not thrown at least 100 pitches in an outing.
Check swing foul, 0-1. Rosario with a fly to left in the first pitch in the second, and then he battled Quintana for a while, ended up chasing a fastball up and away and struck out leading off the 5th. Hey, high tight. With the fastball, 89 miles per hour.
Quintana's last start against the Tigers at home in Chicago worked 6 2/3 innings of shutout baseball. Got a no decision. Fastball up and in. Going back inside again.
Another one up and in. This time Rosario swung at it, fouled it away. 2-2. 3 in a row that have been up and in to Rosario.
Yeah, that's the ball that I think Tom Bernansky and Rosario, I think with more playing time up here, will stay off of that pitch. That ball was right about chest high, if not higher.
Quintana's strikeout pitch has been a slow breaking ball.
Now Navarro sitting away.
And he gave him another fastball. That's pitching.
That is pitching. Strikeout number 9.
1 down.
Twice this year he's had 10 strikeouts in an outing. Career high 13 a couple years ago against the Twins. Navarro setting away. And a pitcher's pitch.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. 1 down, and now Suzuki. Liner to short, and then Suzuki struck out in the 5th inning. Stands to reason, I suppose. Suzuki got off to a slow start, and he's been one of the hottest hitters in the league for the last 2 months, so you'd expect his strikeout rate to decrease. That was just his 33rd strikeout in 228 at bats, which in this day and age stands out, frankly. Missing outside again, 2-0. You got guys that are striking out once every 3 times up, and that's commonplace now. And here's a guy who's going to strike out about once every 8 times. Popped up, straight up into the air. And Navarro, almost in the right-handed batter's box, makes the catch. 2 down. That'll bring up Buxton. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people, by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive, character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Here's where the Twins would like to see Buxton start to figure it out. Just to get on base would change everything here in the 7th inning, or potentially could, because of his speed and his base stealing ability. Drilled but foul, 1 strike. He's 0 for 2. 2 pop-ups to the right fielder, Eaton.
Yeah, his last at bat, he got a 3-1 fastball and got underneath it. And those are the pitches that we're hoping that Buxton can square up a little bit better.
1-1. Two and one.
One thing I've noticed, Don Cooper, he's one of these guys that I don't believe, and I've talked to him before about the 100 pitch count. He goes off of how the guy is going out about his business. Now at 111 pitches for Quintana. Probably his last inning.
And he's off. And that ball hit the diagonal wall. It's a double. We've seen Buxton hit a ball into that corner. A right-handed hitter pulling the ball into the corner and getting a triple. But now it's a 2-out double, and that'll bring up Dozier.
I think if you're a third base umpire, this is harder to call because of the line drive. But Chad Whitson right there has to turn around quickly and watch the flight of the ball. A points fair right off the get-go. So it's a double for Buxton with 2 outs. For Buxton, his 13th double.
And that will be the end of the night for Jose Quintana. Robin Ventura coming out to get him. And Buxton's double forcing at least a pitching change here in the 7th. A 2-out double into the left field corner. Matt Albers is going to pitch next for the White Sox. You look at his stuff, and he looks like he's got 20-game winner stuff, but he hasn't even won 10 because they won't score him any run.
Again, his 8 losses, the 8-8 coming in this ball game. His 8 losses, White Sox have scored a total of 10 runs in those 8 losses. And here tonight, I mean, he's leaving a ball game with the runner at second, Buxton, his responsibility. And it'll be about up to Matt Albers to try to get the final out here. Brian Dozier or whoever making his 45th relief appearance. Albers in his 2nd season with the White Sox.
Dozier's 1 for 7 against Albers. He's trying to take a late inning lead. The plate. We saw it happen in yesterday's game. The Twins and Orioles were locked up in a pitcher's duel, but then it was the home team that came up with the big hits late, and that is something the Twins have done a better job of over the last month or so, even on the road. Dozier pops it up, short right field. Abreu back, staggering under it. He makes the catch, and Buxton's left at second. On to the 8th, still 1 apiece.
with a Mall of America Studio Sports Update. The Twins resume their 3-game series with the White Sox tomorrow night here on Fox Sports North. Our coverage begins at 5:30. Anthony LaPanta, Jack Morris gets you ready for this Saturday night showdown with Chicago. Then Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven return with the call. Twins and White Sox tomorrow night on Fox Sports North.
And it'll be Anthony LaPanta and Tim Laudner pre- and post-game show tomorrow. Again, it is a night game. First night game on a Saturday we've had for a while. And we'll look forward to game 2 of the series and an exciting finish the Twins hope here in game 1. J.B. Shutt taking strike 1 from Ricky Nolasco out there chucking in the 8th inning.
15 first pitch strikes of the 25 batters Nolasco has faced now.
Bottom third of the White Sox order starting with Shutt, then Saladino and Sanchez. A liner to Dozier, 1 away. Been some line drive outs, but well aimed as far as Nolasco is concerned. Coming up tomorrow, the Twins and White Sox, and the first 10,000 fans get a Snow Globe presented by Toro. For tickets, go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets or call 800-33-TWINS. Somebody on Twitter was nice enough to tell me that they had a promotion like that in Fort Myers earlier this year.
A Snow Globe?
A Snow Globe. So if you didn't get yours in Fort Myers, you can perhaps, if you talk nicely to the people here, get one tomorrow.
Oh, I get one anyway, even if I don't talk nicely.
You do?
Yeah.
Side 2-0. Saladino 0 for 2. He lined to Kepler. 3-0. Sanchez on deck.
And Nolasco has only 1 walk. Trying to get the second out here in the 8th inning. His longest outing this year, 7 2/3 innings. That came against the Tampa Bay Rays here at home.
And a strike. Saladino's only walked 6 times this year. Foul back 3-2. Nolasco trying to come all the way back from 3-0 to get Saladino. 138 at bats on the year, just the 6 walks. Fly ball, right field corner. Kepler. And this one back into the seats a little bit further than the one earlier in the ball game.
And Hale Allen, you saw him on the phone.
And another 3-2 to Saladino. Struck him out with a breaking ball. 2 down. Astros looked really good here tonight.
Yeah, he really has. He's mixed in all his pitches. Picks up his 5th strikeout. You saw Saladino do right here. I mean, this is probably ball 4, but the aggressiveness, you said he's only walked 6 times. They don't take a lot of pitches, especially on 3-2. Good pitch right there.
Sanchez
missed that by a foot.
Sanchez a late addition with Todd Frazier scratched because of flu-like symptoms.
They take away the bunt from this guy.
Missing the outside corner. The late switch leaving Robin Ventura with 2 bench players, the backup catcher Narvaez and Avisail Garcia. That's it. Swing and a miss.
Good change up there.
You wouldn't imagine Garcia would be used unless the Twins brought in a left-handed reliever. So long as they go right-handed, Robin's stuck with what he put out there to start the ball game, one would think. 1-1. And an off-speed pitch.
Good curveball there.
In terms of velocity, it looks like Nolasco's going down the ladder.
Changing speeds well. Throwing a lot of changeups and then taking off the curveball.
The breaking ball, tap foul.
Ricky Nolasco here tonight made really one mistake, and that was the second pitch of the ball game. Other than that, he's pitched outstanding. He's only given up 2 more hits other than that. Double play turn behind him in the second inning. 5 strikeouts in the ball game.
1-2 on the outside corner. 8 very sharp innings for Ricky Nolasco.
Longest outing of the season for Nolasco. Now let's get him a win.
Brilliant tonight. 8 strong innings, just 1 run against. It happened on the second pitch of the game. 1-1. Here comes Minnesota to bat in the bottom of the 8th, and here we come right after the game with Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll take you through this outstanding pitchers duel, just what Bert Blyleven loves to watch. We'll also take you through some adventures in base running to put the Twins out of a big inning in the 6th inning. Also bring inside the clubhouse guys here from the manager, Paul Mauder. He'll react to this one. Hopefully, like last night, a pitcher's duel that turns into a win with a late rally.
See what happens with Robbie Grossman taking strike 1, facing Matt Albers. And now up 1-1. This is where Grossman has been so good for the Twins, even though he's hitting .233 as a left-handed hitter. 31 walks. And he has an on-base percentage of .391 from his lesser side of the plate. And now it's 2-1.
And Albers can walk you. 15 walks in 37 1/3 innings coming into this outing, his 45th appearance. Good moving fastball.
3-1. Grossman's never faced Albers.
You saw the moving fastball there, just missing away.
Three and 1. Fouled away. 3-2. Twins have far more options than Robin Ventura. On the bench, Santana, Centeno, Mauer, and Polanco. And remembering that Grossman is in the game as a designated hitter, so if he reaches, we might see a pinch runner. Full count from Albers to Grossman. A drive to right center field. This ball deep toward the gap and high off the wall. Grossman to second, and he'll hold up there with a leadoff double.
Well, Albers fell behind, ended up going 3-2 and threw him a fastball, and Grossman jumped all over it. His 13th double of the year gets him to second base with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Fastball right there. Good swing by Grossman. That's one of the deepest parts of the field here at Target Field. They hit one over. And he hit it high.
About 2/3 of the way up. And now Sano, who doubled his last time up. Albers is not much of a strikeout pitcher. And Sano takes a strike down the middle. Albers now 37 2/3 innings and 23 strikeouts. Enough to label him, I guess, a pitch to contact guy. That's what Sano will try to do, make contact. High fly right center field. Grossman setting up to tag, and Eaton with the catch. He winds up and throws. It's a strong throw, and they got him. Wow. Adam Eaton with another assist from right field, his second tonight. And Grossman standing on the base like he thinks he's in there.
What a great throw by Eaton, getting behind that ball. It's a high fly ball. Is it the center fielder or Eaton that's going to catch it? And Eaton, watch him set up, and then all the way in the air.
And Grossman still standing on the base. He's out.
Yep.
Got him on the backside right before his foot hit the bag. I don't think the Twins will challenge this.
What a throw by
Wow. Well, he's really played well in right field after playing in center field for his entire major league career. That's just a tremendous throw. 2 down.
I mean, he let that baby go right on the mark.
Just a split second before the foot hit the bag. He now has 15 assists. Two of them tonight, 16 I should say. Base is empty, 2 down, and here's Vargas. Strike 1. Vargas busted his bat but drove in the lone Twins run with a single to right. And he tried to untie the game. 0-2. Go done for the night.
Again, both starters pitched outstanding.
And a looper foul over the Twins, or excuse me, White Sox dugout.
Yeah, Vargas got sawed off in his at bat in the 6th inning, strong enough to hit it into short right field to score Dozier.
Another 0-2 pitch to Kenny Vargas. 1-2. Second time the Twins have had a leadoff double, but haven't been able to get the doubler in to score. It happened back in the 1st inning. One and 2. Fly ball, short center. Anderson, the shortstop, out. And we'll head to the 9th inning, tied at 1. Adam Eaton, a home run on the second pitch of the game for the only Chicago run, and then a great throw to stifle the Twins rally in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, offensively, scored the only run in the ball game so far for the White Sox. Defensively, maybe saved the White Sox with this great throw to get Grossman, who was tagging up at second, trying to get over to third, and was called out.
And it will be Eaton leading off the top of the 9th, and he'll be facing the Twins closer, Brandon Kintzler.
Kintzler worked in last night's ball game in the 6-2 win over the Orioles. Did give up a hit. Faced 4 batters. Ended up throwing 12 pitches, 8 for strikes, making his 33rd relief appearance. 5 saves so far here in the month of July. Not a save opportunity. You can see the great earned run average under 2.
Kintzler's pitched a couple innings against the White Sox, but not in a role like this. He is serving as the Twins closer, and there'll be no more save opportunities possible, so the Twins running him out there in the 9th in a tie game. Eaton takes a strike on the outside corner. Eaton, Anderson, and Cabrera in Chicago's 9th inning. On the ground, Sano picks it up. 1 away. And that'll bring up Anderson. Kintzler's emerged from, at least in the public eye, being a non-factor in the Twins team. He didn't start the year with the Twins in spring training. Now he's the closer, and his name is as prominently mentioned as any other as a candidate to be traded before the deadline Monday afternoon.
Yeah, he didn't get called up until the early part of May.
Take a look at the contending teams, and while most of them, if not all of them, are pretty well set with their closers, they can always use the 7th or 8th inning guy, and that's where Kintzler would fit in. He's been outstanding for the Twins this year.
That was kind of his role when he was with the Brewers.
Ooh, just missed the corner. 1-1. David Robertson warming up if the White Sox take the lead. Otherwise, it looks like it might be Zach Duke. To right field, and that'll carry to Kepler. Goes into the crouch to make the catch.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
What a pleasant night. It's been a good ball game. Each team's made some mistakes, and we've got a 1-1 game now with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Cabrera doubled into the left field corner his last time up, but was left there. His double leading off the 7th. Strike call.
The thing about Kintzler, he throws strikes, he attacks the strike zone. He's not a strikeout guy. We talked about Albers almost being that same type of pitcher. Makes the opponent put the ball in play by hitting good pitches. Good pitch right there, just missing down and away. It's a guy that played 3 years of independent baseball, finally signed by the Brewers in 2010, originally by the Padres way back in 2004.
Dribble foul. That ball trickling up the baseline, the base path. 1-2. Cabrera, tough guy to strike out. He's like Suzuki. He strikes out about once every 8 times. In this day and age, that makes him like, was it Joe Sewell, hardly the Hall of Famer, hardly ever struck out. 1-2. On the ground under the glove of Sano. Cabrera has his second hit. And Cabrera with a big turn, and now the throw coming back to first. Rosario took exception to Cabrera's big turn. It's a 2-out single, and Abreu will have a chance.
Well, good hitting by Cabrera right there. Ball away. He didn't try to pull it, just went with it. And Sano diving to his left. The ball scoots by him. Actually underneath his glove. And Cabrera hustling, putting on the brakes.
Clutch hitter Jose Abreu at the plate. And Kinsler challenges him with some high heat. Mentioned earlier that Abreu really struggling in the home run department, hasn't homered in July, but he has picked up an awful lot of doubles, 23 of them on the season. 0 for 3 tonight. Twins in the no doubles defense. The outfield stretched way out there. And that's past a sprawling Vargas. Cabrera will go to third base. Here's the throw, and they got him. What a throw from Kepler. A one-hop strike from Max Kepler.
The right fielders are showing off their arms.
And he will lead off the bottom of the ninth. If the Twins are going to win this ball game, they'll do it in walk-off fashion. Max Kepler and Adam Eaton both with impressive assists late in the game. It's said of outfielders that they've got a strong arm, they've got a howitzer. Well, in this case, let's call it a German Mauser.
And both of them, you know, and Eaton and Kepler right there, right on the button. I mean, right to the third baseman. Quick tag by Sano. It's a good, fun defense to watch.
Kepler will lead things off in the bottom of the ninth against Zach Duke. Around the hands. The Twins have 6 walk-off wins. The last 2 provided by Max Kepler.
Zach Duke with that sidearm delivery, making his 53rd relief appearance.
Talked about it last night. Not only has Kepler had a productive bat, but he's had a flair for the dramatic with some late home runs. Hit a late one last night to tie the game. 1-1 from Duke. Bounced to third. Picked up by Saladino. 1 down. That'll bring up Escobar. Escobar 1 for 3. He'll hit right-handed against Duke.
Escobar hitting .275 as a right-handed hitter. 2 of his 3 home runs coming from the right side of the plate.
Outside, ball 1.
And Duke's been pretty stingy as far as giving home runs. Only 2 in 36 2/3 innings.
He's got reverse splits too. He's been tougher on right-handed batters than left-handed batters. Grounded to third, right at Saladino. And a high throw, but Abreu steps into foul territory to make the catch. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the ninth. And now Rosario against the lefty. And Rosario in the lineup in part because it really hasn't made much difference, right-handed or left-handed. He's hitting in the 250s against both of them. He's yet to hit a home run against a lefty. Tried to there. 1 strike. Oh, 0-1 to Eddie Rosario. Now a ball. Fernando Abad's getting loose in the Twins bullpen. And another big swing, this time a foul tip, 1-2. Rosario struck out the last 2 times up. One's swinging, one's looking. Making ball wide. Almost looked like he tried to quick pitch him there a little bit.
You see that sidearm delivery by Duke. He one time was a starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates and actually made the All-Star team back in 2009 as a starter. Ended up becoming a close or a setup guy back in 2012.
A little punch shot, short left field. Cabrera was playing way back there. He'll come in and make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the ninth. We're headed to a 10th inning, tied at 1. One of them presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. The Twins will bring Fernando Abad into the ball game, and predictably the White Sox use their one bench move. Avisail Garcia will come in and hit for the designated hitter Justin Morneau.
Yeah, Abad making his 38th relief appearance last night. He had 1 shutout inning, a quick inning, threw 13 pitches, 8 for strikes in the Twins win over the Orioles.
And again with the late scratch of Todd Frazier after the lineups had been exchanged. This is in reality the only move that Robin Ventura could make. Twins have right-handed relievers May, Tonkin, and Presley, but Presley's pitched the last couple ball games. Abad getting the call here. It'll be Garcia, then Navarro, and Shuck. He put some rosin on his bat. Twins hope he won't use it again tonight. For Garcia, disappointing year. 262 at bats, 6 home runs, 15 extra base hits among his 62 hits.
And Garcia 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter.
And a changeup outside, ball 1. White Sox haven't had much production off the bench. 6 hits, 28 at bats, no home runs, and only 1 run batted in. 1-0. 2-0.
Well, I remember Garcia when he first came up with the Detroit Tigers. A lot of people were comparing him to a miniature Miguel Cabrera without power, but a good hitter as far as average.
To be fair, I think over the years Garcia's grown bigger now than Miguel Cabrera is.
Well, good size, 6'4", about 240. They have him listed at out of Venezuela.
2-1. 63 miles per hour. Tonight, whenever this game ends, I'll drive home faster than that.
You know, I pitched a long time. I don't have the guts. I never had the guts to throw a ball that slow.
Jack Morris developed it late in his career. He had a super slow changeup. 2-2 to Avisail Garcia. And now a fastball at 92. So just
sneak the fastball.
Yeah, just 29 miles per hour difference there.
For Dave LaRoche, what did he come up with? La Lob.
Abad with a battle here. 2-2 to Garcia. And a fastball fouled back. First time in a while that Abad's pitched in back-to-back games. Scoreless inning last night against the Orioles. Three and 2 with Navarro on deck. Garcia with the 262 at bats, and he's drawn 25 walks.
And that's the confidence you have in that changeup. He'll throw a 3-2. Garcia fouling it off.
That's changing speeds on the changeup. The first one was 63. That one was 70. Reached back for a little extra on the changeup. Another 3-2. And a breaking ball got him on the outside corner. 1 away. So he threw him the straight change, and that one had a little spin to it that bent over the outside corner.
Yeah, kind of froze Garcia right there. Watch his reaction. Yep. It was over. So Abad picks up a strikeout for the first out.
1 down, and now Navarro 0 for 3. Over for a strike. So Abad has shown low 90s, 92, 93 in the Cabrera at bat, but the bulk of his pitches have been much less than that in terms of velocity. One in the 60s, most of them in the mid 70s. And there's another 77 mile per hour breaker. 0-2.
Well, it came to spring training, non-roster player. You see the different range, 92 to 63, that floater. Non-roster player made the club.
Just missed at 92. Trying to hit the corner, but as you are always preaching, if you're going to miss
away.
Miss away, especially in an 0-2 count. Hit to right. Kepler chasing it. And it stays in play. Navarro digging for second. Kepler having some problem with it. Now Navarro saw his third base coach, and he ran through the bag and was ready to head for third, but he saw Joe McEwing put up the stop sign, and he stopped with a one-out double.
Yeah, Joe McEwing went all the way up that third base line to make sure that when Navarro rounded the bag, he could pick him up. And the same thing Gene Glenn did earlier in the ball game with Sano, basically telling him to stop, but he kept going. Ball had some spin on it and gets away from Kepler into the corner, but it's a double for Navarro. That's his 12th double of the year.
Now J.B. Shuck 0 for 2 with a walk. Down and away with a fastball, ball 1. Shuck hitting left-handers at a .429 clip. 9 hits, 21 at bats. Right back to Abad. They've got him in a rundown. And he's out. A nice fielding play by Abad. Then they get the lead runner.
Navarro, I think, hoping that that ball got through. He took a couple, 2 big steps toward third base. And Abad made a great play. Shuck hitting this ball sharply. The ball just found his glove. Over to Escobar. You want to run him back to the bag, and Sano tags it out for the first out.
2 down, and Saladino will come up with a runner at first and not second base. Saladino 0 for 3, lined out his first time up. Has struck out twice since, just missed the down and away corner, ball 1. Shuck did his part. You can see why he's hitting so well against lefties. He hit the ball right on the barrel of the bat. Out of the right field corner again, chased by Kepler into the seats. One and one. Got to pay Shuck some attention. He was threatening to steal back in the 5th inning when he walked. On the outside corner, 1 and 2. Swing and a strike. It's the first time we've seen Abad pitch in back-to-back games in a long time. And last night it was an effective inning, and if he gets Saladino, this will be deemed an effective inning. His name too has been mentioned in trade rumors. And I think any inquiring club would want to see him pitch effectively in back-to-back games.
I'm just looking back, and last time you had back-to-back games was in Seattle back in late May.
Yeah. So a couple of months since he's done this, and in the month of July he's had a couple of nearly week-long breaks between outings. 2-2 to Saladino. Fouled over the Twins dugout. Sanchez on deck. Not hoping to leave him there. And now 3-2.
Again, outfield playing very deep.
Tapper left side, charged by Escobar, and that ends the 10th inning. Back-to-back effective outings for Fernando Abad, Kurt Suzuki, Byron Buxton, and Brian Dozier due up for the Twins. Twins got their run in the 6th, might have got more, then had another chance in the 8th inning.
Well, Dozier right here gets on. Sano gets on. Good double, good hustle. Vargas gets jammed right there, but the blooper into right. And Sano running through the stop sign is tagged out at home. That tied the game at 1 apiece. And to me, this is not really a mistake because, you know, I mean, right there, Grossman hitting the double, gets on third. Next one, Sano hits it fly ball. You have to credit Eaton. My goodness, what a throw. The same we saw from Kepler when Navarro tried to go from first to third.
Kurt Suzuki will lead off the bottom of the 10th inning.
That was Cabrera that tried to go from first to third on Abreu's hit. Well, Nate Jones coming in. Third reliever used by Robin Ventura. Jones making his 49th relief appearance. 50 strikeouts in 47 1/3 innings. Only 34 hits allowed.
Suzuki takes ball 1. And now a foul, 1-1.
Jones has been a great setup man for the closer, David Robertson.
One and 1 to the Twins catcher. Breaking ball, strike 2.
Jones in his 5th season with the White Sox. Opponent's hitting just .201 off him.
Suzuki checked, barely, but he checked 2-2. Up and in. Suzuki might end up having a career year this year offensively, but he has never been, nor is he this year, a guy who will draw a lot of walks. He's only taken 9 this year with 229 at bat. And he takes a leadoff walk in the 10th. See if the Twins make a bench move here. Tough to do that with your catcher, but that's exactly what the Twins will do. It'll be Danny Santana running for Kurt Suzuki. Using 2 moves here. Santana, if there's an 11th inning, will catch. Santana's at first to either steal or advance on a possible bunt.
Yeah, rare walk by Jones right there. Only his 9th walk, unintentional walk in 47 innings pitched.
Buxton doubled into the left field corner his last time up. Couple of outfield flies preceded that. See what the Twins do here with speed at first and speed at the plate.
Buxton been working on his bunt.
And a throw to first, and we saw Buxton move his hand up the bat barrel.
That's what he's going to do. He showed it early.
And the play will be to second base, and another failed sacrifice attempt by Buxton. Bunting it in the air right back to the mound. 1 pitch, 1 out, and now Buxton's at first instead of Santana.
You have the speed at first, but you also had the speed of Santana. So, you know, as a base runner, you have to kind of hold it for a second because of this ball goes up in the air first. It doesn't go down on the ground. So Santana has to maybe hold for a second, which he did. By the time he took off, he's of course out at second base.
Well, it was not a good pitch to bunt. It was up around shoulder high. Very difficult to put that ball directly on the ground. 1 out, 1 on, and now Dozier. Buxton 7 for 8 in stolen bases. Buxton has a short lead at first.
Yeah, Buxton's only time he was thrown out was the other night that A.J. Przinsky threw him out trying to steal third base.
Right. Dozier's 1 for 4 against Jones, but with 3 walks. Low, ball 1.
And Jones have given up 5 home runs.
Dozier's lone walk-off hit this year, a home run against the Marlins. The pitch there and missed it. 1-1. One and one to Brian Dozier. Check swing foul to the screen. Dozier with 20 doubles, and one would think if he could hit his 21st here, the game would end.
He's leading the club with doubles, home runs, and runs batted in.
One and two. Struck him out.
A nasty breaking ball. Good location right there.
And now Don Cooper to the mound with Grossman coming to the plate.
Good hard breaking ball. And Jones picks up his first strikeout.
what would this meeting be about? There's not a base open. They're not going to do anything with Grossman to bring Sano to the plate.
Maybe something just trying to don't worry that much with 2 outs about Buxton right here, as far as just, you know, make sure you stop and change your delivery a little bit toward home plate, but concentrate on the guy at the plate.
Buxton dives back again. Looks like his lead is marginally larger than it was during Dozier's at bat. Probably important to remind viewers what you've already reminded them. The only time he's been thrown out was at third base the other night. Doesn't go. Outside, ball 1.
We got Navarro behind the plate too. He's only thrown out 4 of 32 potential base stealers.
One and 0 to Grossman. To left center field, slicing toward the gap. Cabrera over, and he makes the catch. And we'll have an 11th inning. The Twins can't do anything with the leadoff walk. A failed sacrifice bunt sends us to the 11th. Another extra inning presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Into the 11th inning now. And Taylor Rogers will pitch for the Twins. Twins have got had good pitching performances from Nolasco, their starter. He went 8 innings. Kinsler, a scoreless 9th. Abad, a scoreless 10th. They would like to stay away from Presley, who's pitched in back-to-back games.
Got Rogers making his 31st relief appearance. He worked here last Wednesday against the Braves. An inning and 2/3, gave up a run in the Twins' 9-7 loss. He's done a good job of not allowing any base runners, free passes. 5 walks, 2 intentional for Rogers in 35 1/3 innings. He has 36 strikeouts.
Needs to do better against right-handed batters, and he'll face 2 of them here this inning if he faces 3 men. Sanchez takes strike 1.
Sanchez hitting from the right side for the first time.
And now 2 strikes.
Rogers, good fastball. Worked both sides of the plate. Changed speeds on the breaking ball. Juan Centeno now catching. And Suzuki was pinch ran for.
Escobar gets in front of it, on target to Vargas, one away.
Well, he got rid of it quickly too.
One down in the 11th, and Adam Eaton will bat. Eaton scored and drove in the lone Chicago run on the second pitch of the game. Yet another leadoff home run for a Twins opponent. Since then, he's grounded out twice and been hit in the right ankle by a Nolasco fastball. And it hit Eaton, but where did it hit him? In the box or out of the box? They're saying foul ball. Here comes Paul Molitor. And Paul asking Gary Cederstrom to ask the base umpires whether they saw the ball hit Eaton out of the box. If it did, he's out.
Oh, look at the first look right here. Eaton running out of the box.
Ooh.
Boy, hit his right elbow. You can see he's out of the box right there.
Right there, his right foot is the only one grounded, and that's when the ball hit him. The left foot, they're saying, was still in the batter's box. So it is just a strike. If his left foot was in the air and not grounded in the batter's box and his right foot was out, he would be out. One strike to Eaton. And a wild swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Got him on 3 pitches, 2 down.
2 nasty breaking balls right there by Rogers. Picks up a strikeout.
Tim Anderson will bat with 2 gone. That's why Rogers has held left-handers to barely over 200 opponent batting average. Anderson 0 for 4 in the ball game. Takes inside. Chopper, Rogers with the catch, and a 1-2-3 top of the 11th inning for Taylor Rogers. Five batters up at first. Our game summary in a tie game.
Boy, you think about, the second pitch of the ball game, a home run. You're thinking, this is going to be a high-scoring ball game. But instead, it's a pitcher's duel. Eaton hitting that home run, his 8th of the year. Quintana pitched outstanding. And as the Twins starter Ricky Nolasco did. Nolasco season high 8 innings, only allowed 3 hits and a run. The only run for the Twins came off the bat of Chase Vargas right there that scored Dozier, but then the base running mistake by Sano, tagged out at home plate.
Red Sox will bring their closer into the ball game here. David Robertson to face Sano, then Vargas and Kepler.
David Robertson making his 41st relief appearance. He has 24 of the 28 saves out of that bullpen. 50 strikeouts in 41 1/3 innings pitched. He has allowed 6 home runs, 21 walks.
Sano stands in. A few days ago, Robertson gave up 2 solo home runs in a save situation. White Sox ended up walking off the Cubs, and pretty much the same thing happened in the nightcap. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to Sano. He got wins in both games of the doubleheader.
Robertson in his 2nd season with the White Sox. Of course, pitched 7 seasons with the New York Yankees.
Oh, 0-2. 0-3.
3 straight breaking balls gets Sano.
3rd time he's struck out, and now Vargas will bat.
Well, the 3rd curveball, like the 2nd and the 1st, good rotation down in the strike zone.
One of the reasons Robertson's been one of the best relief pitchers over the last few years, he dominates left-handed batters. And Vargas takes inside a ball.
Well, he has that little cutter that he threw right there, along with a good tight rotation of a curveball.
Lefties have hit 195 against him. 1-0 to Vargas. 2-0.
And I have no idea where he learned that cutter. I guess if you're out in that bullpen with Mario Rivera out there all those years, you might want to pick his brain. I think David Robertson did.
Now over for a strike, a slower breaking ball. Three and 1, just missed. Twins have speed on the bench yet with Polanco, and Mauer would be available to play first base, but first Vargas has to get on base. Grounder to the right side, backhanded by Abreu to Robertson, 2 down, and that'll bring up Kepler. When Kepler hit the home run last night, he hit a cutter inside, and he pulled his hands in, got the barrel of the bat on it, and lofted a fly ball just over the wall in right field. What he'll get from Robertson very likely is a steady diet of cutters. See Saladino well off the line and playing about even with the bag at third base. Ball 1.
That's more the curveball there.
Two and 0. Many people feel that the White Sox have been tempted to deal Robertson before the trading deadline Monday afternoon. 3-0.
He is signed through 2018, signing a 4-year contract back in December of 2014 with the White Sox after he left the Yankees as a free agent.
Kepler reaches, Escobar would hit. And a 4-pitch walk. Kepler runs well. And we'll see what, if anything, the Twins do here with his speed at first. And even that nice to see. Kepler, who's found himself in so many key situations late in games, has the patience to take the walk that was given him. Robertson's 22nd walk in 42 innings. Kepler is 1 for 1 in stolen bases. Escobar takes a fastball and strike one. Last year, most of Kepler's season was spent in Chattanooga. 112 ball games, and he stole 18 bases out of 22 tries. He did not get Buxton to second base in a similar spot last inning. Flared foul, and now Escobar behind in the count 0-2. Robertson to Escobar. Kepler goes, and the pitch grounded foul. As he took off, Kepler kept looking inside toward the hitter.
Well, there's 2 outs, so there's really no need to.
I don't know why he would do that.
Maybe just didn't want to get hit by the line drive. That was going to go into right field.
Doesn't go. And a check swing. Escobar fouled that right before it was going into Navarro's glove. Two strikes to Escobar. Kepler goes, and the pitch grounded to the right side. Sanchez gets Escobar, and we'll get a 12th inning. Twins again can't take advantage of an extra inning walk, and we're still tied at 1. Twins didn't score until the 6th. Neither team has scored since. And the Twins go to Trevor May now to start the 12th inning.
You know, even though Taylor Rogers threw 8 pitches to retire the White Sox 1, 2, 3. Last couple times out that Rogers has been asked to go out after a short quick inning. He has run into trouble in the second inning. I'm going back to that Atlanta ball game. He had a 1-2-3 7th inning, went out for the 8th, and then gave up 3 hits. So I think they're starting to realize, you know, Rogers is good maybe for 1 inning, depending on the situation of the ball game. But right here now it's Trevor May coming into the ball game.
With Presley having pitched in back-to-back games, the Twins would like to avoid using him. And then the other right-handed option was Michael Tonkin. But already seen the value of pitchers in these close games late holding runners on, and that is hardly Michael Tonkin's strength. So Trevor May gets the call here. He'll face Melky Cabrera. And a strike at the knees. Cabrera with hits his last 2 times up. Popped up back and out of play.
Yeah, Trevor May worked here on Wednesday night against the Atlanta Braves, an inning and a third, gave up a hit but had 3 strikeouts, 26 pitches, 21 for strikes. His couple outings been outstanding. Total of 3 2/3 innings, no runs allowed in Boston and against Atlanta.
The way games are managed most of the time now, if you are the home team and you use your closer in the 9th inning and then you have extra innings, the visiting team has the advantage of saving their closer. Well, now the White Sox used Robertson in the 11th. Doesn't mean he can't come back and pitch the 12th. But the advantage the White Sox had after Kinsler left has perhaps been neutralized here with Robin Ventura's decision to bring Robertson in a non-save situation. 1-2 to Melky Cabrera. Don Cooper talking about the options the White Sox might have. Just off the corner, 2-2.
Cabrera having two hits, 2 of the 6 hits that the White Sox have.
Sharply hit. Dozier knocks it down, finds it, throws him out. Very well hit ball for the first out.
And Brian did the right thing. He got in front of that ball, almost smothered the ball, knocking it down, and knew who was running, so he had plenty of time to pick it up and get the out.
Here's Jose Abreu. He's singled to right, and Kepler with a strong, accurate, and long throw throughout Cabrera at third base. Strike on the outside corner. That's what was most impressive to me about Kepler's throw. It was almost from the right field corner, and he threw a perfect throw to get Cabrera at third. 1-1.
Still respect this guy's power.
Ooh. Got a piece of Gary Cederstrom. 1-2.
I think May got it away with a pitch right there. Centeno wanting it down and away, and that ball right down the middle.
Right off the right wrist of the home plate umpire. One and two. Breaking ball popped up weakly right side. Vargas with 2 hands, 2 down, and that'll bring up Avisail Garcia.
You know what, when Abreu's swinging good, he's not going to miss those 2 pitches. That last one was a hanging breaking ball that Abreu got underneath.
If he doesn't come up again, that'll be 29 games in a row without a home run for Abreu. Garcia called out on strikes, facing Abad when he pinch hit for Morneau. White Sox really don't have a bench with 13 pitchers. Of course, they have just 3 bench options on a normal night, and they lost Frazier when he was scratched after the lineups were exchanged. Grounded to third. Sano gets a chest high hop, a couple of crow hops, and a rocket across the diamond. And Trevor May with a quick 1-2-3 inning. Chat. He did mostly listening to Neil Allen trying to figure out what happens if we have a 13th inning. Trevor May just threw a handful of pitches, got his 3 outs, but the way the discussion went, now with Buddy Boshears warming up, they may have decided that Trevor May won't have the chance for another inning of work. Dan Jennings will pitch for the White Sox with a couple of left-handed batters due to face him early in the 12th inning.
Yeah, Zach Duke, the other left-hander, worked earlier in the ball game. Now Jennings coming in, making his 39th relief appearance in his 2nd season with the White Sox. Came up with the Marlins in 2012.
Having a really good year. Pick apart his numbers, and maybe the walks are a little bit high, but just 1 home run allowed in 44 and a third innings.
Yeah, fastball low 90s, very good slider and a changeup.
Rosario will bat. A couple of outfield flies to left and a couple of strikeouts. Breaking ball, it hits the inside corner.
Jennings 29 years old.
One and one. A couple years ago traded by the Marlins by their then general manager Dan Jennings.
Signed by the Marlins 2008 at University of Nebraska in Lincoln, Nebraska.
1 and 1. Rosario tried to send us home. 1 and 2. Shaking his head because I think he thought he was right on that 91-mile-per-hour fastball.
Jennings working out of the stretch, very quick as far as his delivery toward home plate once he gets going.
Breaking ball, 2 and 2. Twins got a leadoff walk on the 10th, and moved Santana, the pinch runner, from first, then a 2-out walk in the 11th, and Kepler never got to second base.
Yeah, when Jennings releases that ball, it's almost like he's working out of a slide step type of situation. Watch how quick that right knee comes up.
3-2, and everything we said about Tim Anderson, of course, and his inability to take walks, we can say it for Rosario. Just 2 unintentional walks in 189 at bats. We've seen him go deep in counts and then chase. Nearly hit him. And Rosario will take it. Did hit him. I think plate umpire Gary Cederson said it hit him, so he'll take first base, but it won't be because of a walk.
Well, it might have nicked his jersey as he's trying to get out of the way. Take a look right here. Jennings just, I didn't think that hit him, but it is either ball 4 or a hit by pitch. Well, it is a hit by pitch.
Yep. Rosario at first. And Centeno will bat, or will he bunt? Buxton on deck. Saladino creeping in toward the edge of the grass at third. And a good bunt. And a look to second. And Centeno drops down a bunt, getting Rosario to second base. Byron Buxton hoping to get a walk-off hit here. He tried to bunt in the 10th, but popped the bunt up in the air toward the mound, and the White Sox were able to force Santana at second base.
Well, Buxton needs little things, good little things to happen, and this would be a great little thing right here if he could get a base hit and score Rosario.
1 for 4.
Seen the fastball and the hard breaking ball from Jennings. Big sweeping breaking ball.
Taking low, ball 1. Second baseman Sanchez trying to stay in the neighborhood of Rosario near second base to keep him close. Up and away, 2-0.
Jennings thrown 9 pitches, only 3 strikes.
To Buxton. And we mentioned Jennings' numbers all very good, but sometimes his control is an issue. He either walked, or I guess he did hit Rosario. Now 3-0 to Buxton.
Yeah, you mentioned the 22 walks in 44 to third innings.
Dozier on deck.
He's already, wow, he hit Rosario.
Buxton takes down the middle, 3-1.
Now get a pitch you can handle and just drive it somewhere.
Three and 1. And Buxton takes a walk. His run doesn't mean anything, but it gets a more veteran hitter in Dozier to the plate with a chance to end the ball game. Buxton's so strikeout prone. It's hardly what the White Sox wanted to do. They wanted to go after him and strike him out.
Well, again, I was hoping that fastball was there and he'd get a base hit, but hopefully it's up to Brian Dozier right here.
Robin Ventura to the mound. He's got another right-hander warming up, remembering that the White Sox have an extra pitcher, a 13-man pitching staff. And Ventura brought in Jennings because the Twins are going to send two left-handed batters, Rosario and Centeno, up. And then Jennings hit Rosario. Centeno bunted, and then Buxton was walked. Well, both the Twins and White Sox have struggled getting runners to come home because they've had their guys thrown out at third base so much. And Brian Dozier, with runners at first and second, one down, will try to deliver the game-winning hit against Tommy Kahnle.
Yeah, Kahnle, 5 different stints this season with the Chicago White Sox. Started this season in AAA Charlotte, making his 11th appearance. Couple seasons with the Rockies in 2014 and last year. In his first season with the White Sox. Kahnle, 26 years old.
Buxton at first, except for a possible force play. That he's there is irrelevant. But now a more veteran hitter, Dozier, at the plate, facing Kahnle. Rosario runs well. He's at second.
The scouting report on Kahnle: good fastball, slider, and a changeup.
And in the event the Twins send both runners, Navarro gives some signs.
He's had one wild pitch.
Up high, ball one. Again, Dozier's walk-off hit this year. June 7th, a home run against the Marlins. Two and oh.
Two fastballs, first one at 96, that one at 97.
Years ago, it looked like Dozier was going to become a guy who would walk 100 times. He walked 89 times. So far this year, 39 walks. Three and oh. He check. They'll appeal. 3-0. If he walks, everything would change for the White Sox. They'd have to bring the infield in and the outfield in for Grossman.
Again, Canely only 9 1/3 innings so far. 8 walks, 3 intentional, but 7 strikeouts.
Wow. The White Sox can't throw strikes here in the 12th inning. The Twins have loaded the bases without a base hit. The only ball put in play was Centeno's first pitch bunt. A hit batter, 2 walks, and now Grossman, who might be, well, it's not going to be Grossman, it's going to be Joe Mauer. Grossman called back, and Mauer will come up with the bases loaded and 1 out. And we keep bringing it up because it is really remarkable. Mauer, as great a hitter as he's been, and he's struggled the last couple of years, but he's won 3 batting titles and been the Twins' best hitter for a long time. He has 1 walk-off hit, and that was in 2007.
Oh, let's make it 2 right here.
He doesn't even have to get a hit. A deep fly would get the job done. The infield in, the outfield in.
As an outfielder, you get where you feel comfortable. If the ball is hit right at you, you can make a throw home. Joe usually takes a pitch or 2. See what he does here. 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter.
And a fastball for a strike, 97 miles per hour.
Well, you take a pitch because Canely came in, threw 4 straight pitches out of the strike zone.
Right.
Make him throw a strike.
Mauer's never faced Canely. Pick off to third, and Rosario back easily. 1-1. And one would think this is an awfully big pitch for Canely. Joe's got a very discerning eye, and if he gets to 2-1, then the pressure really mounts. Time called. And now it is 2-1.
And there's that good take right there by Mauer.
Two and 1 to Mauer. 3-1, and Canely looks off toward the right field foul pole. He threw a first pitch strike to Mauer, but now he's thrown 8 pitches, 7 of them out of the strike zone.
As a pitcher here, you put yourself in a situation you have to throw a fastball right down the heart of the plate.
3-1, no place to put Mauer. Ball 4, and it's a walk-off walk, and the Twins finally beat the White Sox 2-1 without getting a base hit. And in the 12th inning, the only ball put in play was a bunt.
Well, great pitching by both sides. It came down to lack of control by the Chicago White Sox bullpen that allowed the Twins to win.
Well, Anthony LaPanta, we've had walk-off hits. We've had walk-off home runs. We had a walk-off error a few weeks ago. And now a walk-off walk.
All of them wins at home for Minnesota. And this one gets the Twins their second consecutive victory here at Target Field. And a pitcher's duel against the Sox. We'll show you how they did it here from Paul Molitor and preview the rest of the series next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink.